Okay, let's do this. Another hemming video. This time it's going to be doing an invisible stitch on a sewing machine instead of by hand. My last one was by hand. This one is going to be sewing machine. It's kind of like a blind, I think it's called a blind stitch, where it like tacks up and grabs a tiny piece of the main fabric. I'm going to do that one, and it's going to be all about how to shorten your jeans without cutting. So there's going to be no cutting involved. I'm going to leave the original hem on, tuck it up under, and just stitch it on the inside. I really like to do DIYs and alterations that are like reversible, just in case, you never know. Right now, the ankle length jeans are really in, like the shorter jeans. But I know there's going to be a day when the cropped jean length is not going to be in, and we're going to want to have like the bunching at the bottom again one day. I know right now it's like, oh, that sounds horrible. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes it now. It's going to come back around. Everything in fashion comes back around. And longer pants they're gonna have their day again. They will. And you know what? I can keep jeans for like 5 years, even 10 years sometimes. I have jeans that are extremely old. So I just like to have the option of maybe I want to take them back out. Maybe I also have another idea of like make them longer, add side slits or something cool. No regrets, right? No regrets. So I just want to make sure that I can change my mind if I want to. I'm Emily Keller. This is a Fashion Roundup. Thanks for joining me. Hit the like button if you're excited to see a hemming video. I swear, hemming pants is kind of like my second job. Because I'm really short, I basically have to hem all of my pants all the time. So I'm like, hemming pants is just like constantly. If you're excited to see some hemmed pants, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the little bell icon to be notified when new videos come out. You can also follow me on Instagram at EmilyKellerCO, where I post lots of other fun fashion stuff. Kind of like supplementary photos and stuff of highlights of what I do on YouTube, plus other stuff like sketches and other more day-to-day kind of stuff, especially in my stories, my Instagram stories, and trying to do some more reels. Hoping to get some cool reel content going on. We'll see how it goes. Anywho, jeans. These are the jeans. These Levi's that I have, these are great jeans. They're like bold curve. Classic rise, slim leg. These are great, like they're kind of almost like mom jeans, but I kind of like them. Maybe I'm getting old and like, I kind of like the mom jean style almost now. Anywho, I normally wear them folded up like this with like one little fold. So they're actually not bad. I'm gonna try to take off about 2 inches. Not take off, because we're not cutting. I'm going to fold under and invisibly hem 2 inches. So I pinned one leg so that I know where I'm hemming. First things first, in hemming jeans, always make sure that they're washed. All of these are kind of like old jeans, so these have definitely been washed quite a few times. Always make sure to wash them before you hem them at least once. Especially if they're new jeans, wash them and dry them how you'd normally dry them, probably tumble dry in the dryer, or line dry them, or lay flat to dry if that's what you do. But last thing you want is to hem your jeans and then throw them in a hot wash and in a hot dryer, and then they shrink and then they're too short. Definitely don't want that to happen. But hey, if it does happen and you don't cut them, which is what we're doing today, we are not cutting these. So if that does happen, you can always undo the stitching and pull the length back out. Again, another good reason to not cut. Don't cut the bottom of your jeans. All right, let's get to it. I hope you have a sewing machine. Today we need a sewing machine. If you want to do a hem without a sewing machine, you can watch my previous video with these jeans. These blue, oh, you can't see them. With these jeans, these blue jeans. Oh, I hemmed these with just by hand. And same thing, no cutting. No cutting involved. I just shortened them with no cutting and no sewing machine. So you can do something like this. First thing I'm going to do is try these on and make sure that the 2 inches looks right, and that's where I actually want to hem them. This one today is a sewing machine, so let's get started. So we're gonna fold this under, and I'm going to press this. Press this so we have a nice clean straight line, and it's a lot easier to sew if you kind of already have a really clear line of where your seam's gonna be. Okay, definitely before you do anything, you want to check that your inseams are the exact same length. I just highly recommend doing this with any pants. You never know with, you know, quality control, slipped a pair here, and the pant legs are different lengths. You just kind of want to double check they're the same length. Just be sure. So you want 26 3/4. Okay, close enough. This is almost 26.5, but all right, 26 3/4. Okay, fine. I was almost gonna say that this was a 1/4 inch off. You just want to make sure they're the same. You never know when something crazy happens. Okay, yeah, 26 3/4. So now we can go from the bottom edge and we can measure that way. So let's say we're taking 2 inches off. So I'm just gonna mark 2 inches, 1, 2, 2 inches up here. Same thing on this side, marking 2 inches up. 1, 2, right there. I'm just gonna press this flat. This might be easier inside out. I think I'm gonna turn these inside out. There we go. The funny thing is, I just realized that I actually hemmed these before. This is not the natural hem. I hemmed these pants. It must have been like a really long time ago. The hem is like not the original hem. I don't know when I did this, but I obviously hemmed them at one point already. And I'm hemming them again because they're too long. So before we start, I flipped my jeans back to the right side like this. And they're not inside out anymore. And then to do the blind stitch hem, you kind of want to fold your pants one more time up like this and line up kind of this part just below the seam, just below your old hem seam, kind of there and there, and pull that tight. And you kind of want to just keep this all really straight like this. So sewing mostly on this edge and catching little pieces of this one. So you can kind of see we're folded. Once, this is gonna be our true hem, this is gonna be our new hemline. Down there we're taking off 2 inches, and then we kind of fold it once more, so we're gonna catch this edge, and that's where our hem is gonna, our little catches are gonna be along that edge. So pull that tight, make sure everything's pretty smooth. That looks really good. So we're going to be sewing on this and catching little pieces of this. All right, let's try it. Sewing machine. I'm just using black thread because you're not going to see it on the outside anyway, so it kind of doesn't really matter what color you use. And this is dark denim, so black thread with dark denim is totally fine. Start on the seam. So if you have the crotch seam, start on the seam leg that is the crotch seam, so it's on the inside of the leg, so that just in case it gets funky, the thread gets funky there, it's on the inside of the leg and it's less noticeable. And you also change this setting here to this one. That's the blind stitch hem right there. And I kind of normally do this pretty slowly because I don't want to catch, we want it to catch a teeny tiny amount, so I kind of wiggle it until I get a teeny tiny amount. Then you go a little bit and catch a tiny amount again. You go straight a few, and then when it's time to, it goes over and catches. That's too much. I usually wiggle it out. Tiny amount of this piece of the fabric. Tiny amount of that piece of the fabric. Yep, that's good. I'm actually gonna stop there and switch sides. That is the stitch. See if you can see that, or that catches right there, right there, there, and it creates this blind hem. So you can see here, this is what we did. So we stitched, I still have to clean it up, but we stitched here on this edge, and we caught little pieces of the main fabric. That's what the little V's are. So we stitched here, and then it catches, and those little catches are our invisible hem. That's what creates the blind stitches. Like, so you can see you can sort of see little tiny like dots, barely, but that's why it is an invisible hem, and it looks pretty darn good. And you can hem things pretty high up and not see it too badly. So I'm gonna do the other leg, and then I'm gonna press these like flat and clean, and then we're gonna try them, and then cut the threads, and then try them on. All right, I finished both sides. You can kind of see how they look from the outside. They look pretty good. You can see this is where, I mean, you can't really see the hem, right? It's kind of right here. It's kind of right there, but it's hard to tell, right? So on the inside, what I did was, I'm going to show the stitch on the inside. So the black thread, ignore the blue thread, that was the old line. The black thread up here is the blind stitch hem right here. And what it does is it just grabs, there we go, and if you go on the inside of it, it's a straight stitch, and it just grabs like a little tiny piece of the outside fabric. That's what these little V's are. It's just grabbing right here, boop, grabbing a little tiny piece, and these little marks are what show up on the outside as these little kind of ticks that are basically invisible. You get these little ticks that are invisible. And that is your invisible hem for jeans. And I didn't cut these. So I previously cut them, but I did not cut them this time around. I'm leaving the length that I had originally left them. And that's it. That's the hem. Does it look uneven? It looks okay. That's the hem. I'm gonna try them on and like take some pictures and stuff, some close-up videos. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you tried this blind stitch hem, invisible hem, to shorten your pants without cutting. And let me know how it goes. Let me know if you were just watching this video just for entertainment and for fun. That's cool too. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you're doing when you're watching this. If you're also hemming pants or if you're doing something totally different. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Hit the little bell icon to be notified when new videos come out. Hopefully weekly. I'm trying for weekly. We'll see how it goes. And you can follow me on Instagram at EmilyKellerCO, where I post other fun fashion stuff, a lot of highlights from my YouTube stuff, but then also extra stuff. You can check out my stories and my reels. And I will see you in the next one.